Welcome to Regional Italian Cuisine. My name is David Abdo from the Convent Bakery in Abbotsford. With the festive season upon us, I'd like to take you through some traditional Italian recipes with the award-winning baker Dominic Raco. We will show you the method of artisan panettone. Let's meet Dominic. Hey Dom.
Hey, good to see you.
Likewise, buddy. Dom and I met through our love of good food. This has created an interest in our panettone classes that are currently held at the Convent Bakery. We would like to share our techniques and experiences in handmade panettone. As Dom would agree, around 150 odd years ago, prior to machinery, these panettone were made entirely by hand.
So let's go into the kitchen and show the viewers how it's done. For the first step of the panettone,
we're going to make a starter. Use plain flour, which is the flour that we're using to make the panettone. So basically I'm going to put 100 grams of this and 100 grams of water to start the process. It won't really matter. 127 grams, 110 grams, that's fine. It's just a starter, so. And 100 grams of water. So that's pretty much what you do. You give it a bit of a mix. It'll be pretty easy. It's pretty wet, so it's quite easy to mix. Just make sure the flour gets hydrated with the water. If you feel like, well, that's fine. Doesn't need more water. What we've got here is 100% hydration starter, which is pretty watery. And we're just going to feed it pretty much with the equivalent amount of flour and then half the weight of water. And then we'll have to wait, obviously, that gets fed every 3 hours for the next 12 hours. And then we can actually start using it as a starter.
So we've done our starter and we're going to feed it for the next week. Now we're showing you a quick way of making panettone. So we're going to dissolve, we're going to put the water, 260 grams of water and 400 grams of sugar. I'm dissolving the sugar, so we're going to get a sugar syrup. Now that we've dissolved the sugar in the water, David will add 600 grams of egg yolk. So to separate the yolk from the white is cup your hand and you crack the red in there and let the white run into a bowl. And with the egg white, I'll show you a quick pasta di mandorla sweet for where if you've got a dinner party quickly to make a sweet up for the evening as a dessert.
So we're just finishing up the mixing up the egg yolk with the sugar syrup, so to speak.
And we use organic eggs here at the Convent Bakery. The only reason why, it's rich in colour, so you'll get a nice coloured panettone. Okay, now we're going to add the 1 kilo of flour to it, right? And the 4 grams of dry yeast.
Yeah, I mean, preferably we'd use the natural yeast, but in this case, we don't do panettone and we don't every day. So it's time consuming to actually make to feed the panettone every day and make sure it's at the right pH level. So in this case, we've just used commercial yeast just for the ease of things, really.
And also what we found that using the dry yeast, it's a lot safer than the fresh beer yeast. Mm-hmm. So we've got to make sure that all the ingredients are mixed thoroughly.
So Dom at the moment is bringing he's working the gluten in the flour. Thankfully he's doing it instead of me. We haven't actually put all the water in there. We're just trying to work the gluten first and then we add the rest of the water and the butter, which we'll fold that in later. We'll show you a bit later. But Dom is hard at it, thankfully. And Dom will show you in a minute. We're going to show him the consistency of the flour at the moment. And by the time we finish that'll be nice and elastic, looking beautiful. Okay, so Dom's been at this for about 25 minutes. Hang on a minute, folks. For Varino. And we're just going to add the rest of the water and all the butter, which is about 650 grams, give or take. So as you can see from what it looked like about 20 minutes ago, the gluten was developing quite well. I'm just going to add the rest of the water, Dom. It is hard work, so you might want to get a couple of friends on board or relatives because it can get quite tedious and tiring for the right arm, as in Dom's case here. And I just thought to let you know that this is quite rich in butter, just to make sure that the bread is nice and soft and fragrant, as you'll find out sooner. So we're just going to add the butter to the mix, slowly of course, because Dom's only one man. And I mean very slowly, by the way. And the butter should be at room temperature, just so enough you can squeeze it. So obviously you don't want it melted, because then it changes the butter itself. So it's just soft enough to mix in with the dough.
You want to swap?
No.
You sure?
Come on. Do you want to give it a crack? Check it back over there. If it is on. So now that Dom's worked vigorously for the last half an hour now, it's pretty much, we're almost there. The gluten's been developed. It's becoming really silky and shiny. And I reckon another 2 minutes. What a lovely noise. There, right there. So it's got a very nice shine. It's
Like your head.
a bit like my head. Between my legs. I'll just cover this and make it nice and airtight, because we don't want to cause any skins on top of the panettone mix. And then she's ready to go. We're just going to put it in a warm spot for about an hour or so until it doubles in size at least, and then we'll take it from there.